This episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. You know that one friend who always finds the best travel deals, picks the right cards, and somehow ends up in first class for the price of coach? How do they do that? Well, Smart Travel is like that friend, but in podcast form. They cover all things travel finance, like which travel cards earn their keep and which are just heavy, shiny metal, and planning group trips that won't ruin your budget or your friendships. So travel smarter and spend less. That's the key with help from NerdWallet. Follow Smart Travel wherever you get your podcasts. Armchair Explorer is a part of the Voyescape podcast network. Check out all of their shows from around the world at voyescape.com. Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Explorer. My name's Aaron Miller. I'm a travel writer and your host. And today we're about to get our motor running because a little something different. It's one of our immersion episodes hosted by the legend Brian Thacker. And we are going to Sturgis, South Dakota. This is the home of the largest motorcycle rally in the world. It's a great story. It's a story that we haven't really done before. If you ride a motorcycle, you probably know about Sturgis. It's world famous. If you don't, get ready because it's a lot of fun. A ton of burnouts, some awesome people, loud music, all sorts of cool stuff. So it's a really fun episode coming up, even if you don't ride a motorbike. And I don't. The only time I've ever been on a motorbike was the back of a Harley. Scroll back a few episodes to see that Wisconsin episode. And it was like being on a real life roller coaster. It was amazing. But I was also a little bit terrified, and I've never hugged a man, a stranger, so closely as I did that day. And we're also going up to Bear Butte State Park in the Black Hills, which is really cool as well. So lots of good stuff in this episode. And if you enjoy it, make sure you check out some of our other South Dakota episodes. We've done a really big series about South Dakota. It's one of the most surprising and varied and beautiful and interesting states in America. And it's not on people's radar, which we really love here too. So if you enjoy this episode, do me a big favor, follow the show, leave a review, tell a friend. If you know anyone that rides a motorbike, send this to them. They will thank you for it. So we're going to be sharing a bunch of this on Instagram, Facebook too, at Armchair Explorer Podcast. So go and check that out. But for now, sit back and get ready for Hog Heaven in Sturgis.
Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. Freedom to take to the open road. Freedom to explore new horizons. Freedom to live in the moment. And freedom to party with a few 100,000 bikers while dancing to ZZ Top. This is the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, the biggest gathering of motorcycle riders in the world, where gleaming chrome and the thunderous roar of engines fill the Black Hills. And we're about to join them. Right, let's hit the road. Roaming herds of buffalo, the Wild West, mountains, monuments, dinosaurs and pioneers. Welcome to South Dakota, the land of infinite variety. I'm Brian Thacker, I'm a travel writer, and this is episode 13, Hog Heaven in Sturgis. So we're walking into Buffalo Chip. Now this is the epicenter of the fun for Sturgis. This is where all the bands play. We've got ZZ Top, we've got Gene Simmons from Kiss playing, Nickelback. And this is also where the parade comes through. I'm not quite sure what the definition of a bike is, but someone just went past on a couch, on a sofa couch. You heard right, a couch. A very comfy looking floral love seat that your grandma would own. with wheels, engine, and a baby doll's head on a stick for an accelerator. Suddenly a few of the bikes in the parade started doing burnouts in the middle of the road, and thick smoke and the smell of burnt rubber filled the air.
This does not look safe to me. It's in the middle of the crowd. And by the way, some of those guys who ride on those bikes, not only do some of them have no helmets on, and they're spinning their bikes, to me, it seems completely out of control. They have shorts on.
Sturgis. Freedom to wear no helmet. Freedom to wear shorts doing crazy stunts. Freedom to inhale the equivalent of 100 packs of cigarettes.
I've been to lots of concerts in my life, but I've never seen something like this before in front of the main stage. And there's not people lining up, there is lines of motorbikes. So the people sit on their motorbikes and listen to the concert. How's it work?
I'm guessing they like rev along with the band or something.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Sturgis, South Dakota, the legendary Buffalo Chip campground. We are back at the baddest motorcycle rally in the world.
We skipped the ZZ Top concert. My beard wasn't long enough, but apparently we missed out on quite the show.
There's nobody there that's ever going to forget that particular show.
This is Rod Woody Woodruff, the founder and CEO of the legendary Sturgis Buffalo Chip.
They played in the rain the whole time. You know, the rain would be behind them, then the wind would change, the rain would be in their face. They wiped off the rain from their guitars, and when that didn't work anymore, they switched guitars. I think they switched guitars 5 times during the show, and then as soon as they were done, I mean the very second they were done, lightning struck. It made a big kaboom. It was the perfect ending for the whole deal, except for a little bit of damage.
We're catching up with Woody because we're going to borrow his 2004 Fat Boy Harley-Davidson and take it out for a ride. When in Rome, or in this case, when in Sturgis. Harleys make up most of the bikes here. The most famous motorcycle name in the world had its beginnings in a back alley garage in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and became the world's first mass-produced motorcycle, rolling off the assembly line in 1903 and marking the birth of a brand that would become synonymous with biker culture. However, I was leaving the driving to our producer, Jason, who has his own Dyna Superglide at home. I was happy to sit on the back, as long as the ride was very short and we went very slow. That's because I have motorcyclophobia. Actually, it's a combination of that and necrophobia, the fear of death. Jason, on the other hand, was drooling over the bike and couldn't wait to get on it.
Oh, ooh, she is fat. Man, that's a hefty girl. All right. Let's see if she's like mine.
It's funny, I was standing on the top of the steepest cliff on a skis and, you know, I don't have anything that resembles fear, but something about motorbikes.
You're with a certified amateur, so feel safe.
And I have full health insurance, so that's good.
All right, ready? Put on the pad?
Yep.
Oh, all right, guys.
Okay.
All right, how you feeling?
All right.
We're off.
Right, so first stop, tattoo parlor.
Congrats on being the first person on the back of the bike with me.
Oh, dear me.
A big part of the Sturgis experience is going for a ride. We're in the heart of the Black Hills, so riders have access to some of the most scenic and iconic motorcycle routes in the country. You can cruise the Needles Highway, Iron Mountain Road, and the Wildlife Loop in Custer State Park. And no trip to the Black Hills is complete unless you take a ride to see Mount Rushmore. But we're off for an easy and nice and slow ride, only 15 minutes away from the Buffalo Chip to Bear Butte State Park.
Open road!
Go for Buffalo.
I wasn't joking. Less than 15 minutes away from the craziness of the rally,
and there are huge furry bison just chilling out by the side of the road. The Lakota Sioux call Bear Butte Mado Paha, or Bear Mountain. For centuries they've come here for spiritual inspiration, steeping the mountain in countless prayers. And the park manager just happens to be someone we interviewed in a previous episode. We met Jim Jandro at the Buffalo Roundup at Custer State Park. Jim was one of the fearless riders helping to herd 1,500 bison.
Bear Butte is a sacred site. This is where our spirituality has come from, and we've been worshiping here for, no one really knows how long. The ceremonies that are held here are the same ceremonies that have been held since time immemorial. That's what makes this place unique, and as you walk up the trail, you're going to notice prayer ties throughout. They're in the trees and whatnot, and all around this park you'll see that. That's just the evidence of prayer, because this is where we come to pray. You don't come here, with thoughts of anger or thoughts of revenge or anything like that. This is a place that, that's strictly for prayer, for a good vibe.
Just the geology of this mountain in the middle of these plains is something that's quite special too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's it's a landmark. You can see it quite a ways off. Even the buffalo used it as a landmark in their migration. That was our kitchen on 4 legs. Yeah. We harvested buffalo and we kept following them. That's how we survived.
A sign at the base of the butte reads, "This mountain is a dynamic and living cathedral. We are all visitors at this special place."
If they come here with a good heart and in a prayerful manner, and remember where they're at, don't come here to conquer or desecrate, because you're not going to conquer this mountain. This mountain's going to be here long after we're gone. So who won? It's a place that, one should show respect, because as we believe as tribes, that if you harm this mountain, something bad might happen to you as well. Yeah. So you want to be respectful of it. There's a lot of power here. There's a lot of prayer, wants and needs, and prayer fulfilled that's represented in all these prayer ties on this mountain. You just got to know that it's a sacred place. It's a real special place.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, I've known about this for a long time, but this is my first time here. So we're excited to go for a hike.
Well, it is a strenuous hike.
Yeah, we're not going to do the whole thing.
Yeah. A lot of people, when they come here, they think, I'm just going to kill this trail. I'm going to conquer it. And they hike it kind of for the wrong reason. I think it's more of you should be mindful where you're at in a meditative state, I guess. But it is special. We have people that return here every year from all across the world, and all they do is visit sacred sites. And they never miss this one when they're in America.
Well, thank you so much. It was so nice seeing you again too, Jim. It really was.
Good seeing you.
We're halfway up the hike to the top. It's a 3-hour return trek. We've got all our motorcycle gear on. We're not quite ready for that hike. But already just the difference from Sturgis, which is only 15 minutes away. Hundreds of thousands of people going crazy. And here, the silence. Can you hear that? It's just beautiful. And the Native Americans say that spiritual awakenings can and will occur on the hike up to the summit. All along you're passing all these trees just full of prayer flags. It's so important to the Native American people. And just loving the silence, away from the madness. But we couldn't hang around because Woody wanted his bike back. Although Jason could have stayed on it all day. And I was very happy that the bike and we returned in one piece. Nice work.
We did it.
Buffalo Chip might be party central, but the heart of the Sturgis Rally is Main Street. We are in the main street of Sturgis. It's been transformed into hog heaven. There is literally thousands of Harley-Davidsons lining the pavement, the middle of the road. They come in all shapes and sizes. There's everything from restored antiques that belong to a museum, brand new bikes because if they've just come straight off the production line, and customised hogs that have more bling than bike. Everything from giant lions to tigers to flames to naked women. Everything you can think of is on a motorbike. In the space of 3 blocks on Main Street, I see licence plates from every state. Strangely enough though, there didn't seem to be many from Hawaii. There are folks from all over the world, proudly showing off their country flags on their well-worn leather jackets. I spot a couple from Denmark and chat to a guy who runs the world's most southerly Harley dealership in Dunedin, New Zealand. And yes, I did ask him, and no, he didn't ride to Sturgis. We are here to meet up with a friend of Jason's dad at the old Buckletree store where they first met.
It was just a really neat place to hang out because he had a bulletin board system in the back on his computer. Back in 2003, you know, the internet was like, what? So that's how we all met.
This is Milton McKinney, also known as Mac.
There was a group of about 15, 20 of us that decided to actually come here and meet in person.
So you met these fellow riders online? Were they from different states?
Oh yeah, all over the place. I was from Texas. We had people from Montana, New York, California, but they'd all gotten together because this thing was advertised on a newspaper or something, a Buckletree store, and then it had a little deal, call this number, and you modemed in back then, and we all met online because we'd introduce ourselves to each other and say, I'm so-and-so from Houston, Texas, I'm so-and-so from New York, and none of us had been before. And then I met your dad and Barb, and everybody had road names. There was Bunny and Brake Track and all.
What were my parents' road names?
I don't remember.
I know. I'd love to know.
I'd love to remember.
They never would tell me.
I'll probably remember when I'm not trying to.
Yeah. If it comes to it at any point.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
When you said that, like, oh, I need something to do Sturgis, what was it that was like, Sturgis is something worth doing? Why?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I'd heard of Sturgis the whole time I used to ride bikes. I started in Puerto Rico in 1978, I think. You know, I was just back in the service, so. You hear the story. Everybody's got to go to Sturgis. You see the TV documentaries of everybody at concerts and them bikes riding around. You're like, I got a motorcycle. I could do that. I only intended to do it once, just for the experience. But then I met these people, and it was like, well, we're going to go next year. You going to go next year? Well, sure, I'll go next year too then, because we would just encourage each other to keep coming.
Yeah, what does Sturgis mean to you? What's it?
Well, it's almost hard to say because you feel it more than you know it. It's this gathering of like-minded people. You build on that. It doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what your occupation was. We got every race, every color, every creed. This device, this machine right there unites us all. A lot of times I didn't have anything else in common with these folks except we rode motorcycles and we enjoyed each other's company. We didn't have to have anything else in common. But I don't know. I come to exist with this group of people that I don't know all of them, but I know all of them. You know what I mean?
I love that ride.
Because we're all here doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
In our own individual way, you'll see every kind of bike, every kind of paint job. And that's part of the deal. You go around and look at all the beautiful bikes.
Mac is one of the 10% who come to the rally who don't ride a Harley.
For a while there, people would say, oh, don't ride anything but a Harley to Sturgis. They thought, oh, they'll beat us up if we come up on a Honda. And I'm like, dude, I'm on a Honda right now. What are you talking about? And I always have been. When I came up here with your dad the first time, I was on VTX 1300. We kid, of course. Now, how's your rice burner doing? Doing great. You know, how's your piece of crap Harley doing? You know, we just, but it's all in good fun. Not one word of it is really meant as aggressive or it doesn't matter what you ride. Just ride, just get your butt here. That's really the whole ethos. Freedom to me is, I mean, it means something. It's not a word on a book. It's not a word in a constitution. It's a deeply held feeling, and this epitomizes that. It's almost hard to describe how freeing this is, and other people that don't come and don't know anything about it don't understand.
One person who's been trying to capture that essence for over 40 years is photographer Michael Lichter. Sturgis is not just about partying, there is also a creative side. Michael has been hosting photography and art exhibitions here for decades.
So I'm officially been here more than half of the rallies, documenting them. I was the main photographer for Easy Riders magazine for over 40 years.
Oh, wow. Do you remember much from that 1979 Sturgis?
It's a little bit blurry, but no, actually, because of my photography, like in the gallery, as I said, of all these photos, every photograph, there's a story behind every photograph. And for me, it's my own, people say, oh, you should write a book. I said, my photos are my story, And, they say a photo is worth 1,000 words, right? But there's those 1,000 words behind it all.
And what does Sturgis mean to you after all this time coming to Sturgis?
It's funny because people say, how can you go back? I'll say, oh, have you been to Sturgis? They say, oh, yeah, I've been there. And I go, do you go every year? And they go, no, I've been twice. I've seen it. And I go like, really? This is my 44th year, and it's still new to me. Because every time you go out, things change. Life changes, the world changes, just totally change. I have photographs out on Highway 79 here, where we used to go out, we were camping in City Park, and people throw the gauntlet down and say, okay, grudge racing on 79. And you head out just a little bit north of the highway here, where the intersection is, and somebody would stand down and make sure nobody was coming. There were no cops. There was nothing. And they take drag bikes out of a trailer, and some people the bikes are on in the park and go drag racing literally down the highway until a car came, and they'd stop the car. They'd say, okay, the bikes can go. There was no traffic or anything, right?
Michael has taken many iconic images associated with Sturgis, but one of his favourites might surprise you.
There's an image I have of a prosthetic leg leaning up against an old panhead. It's a black and white in City Park. Early in the morning. I don't know if I went to sleep the night before, but it was my first morning in Sturgis. I got there the night before for the party, probably stayed up all night, and I was taking a little walk just next to where I was camped, and I got this prosthetic leg, and there's a guy wrapped up in a moving blanket next to it. And it's called Early Morning, and a lot of people know that image. And one thing really cool about it is the guy camping out, he came up to me 25 years later and said, do you know who I am? And I go, I usually recognize faces. And then he lifts his pant leg, and I go, Early Morning. And he had seen it. It was in the Journey Museum, where I used to have an exhibit in the Journey Museum for 5 years. And he saw it there and introduced himself. And I've seen him many times over the years, and he's back this year, which is really cool. Ed Reekin's his name. So he's got like a bit of fame just because he's the guy in there, which is so nice that you could sort of do that for other people as well. I have postcards of it, and I've given him stacks of them so that he can give them out. People want his autograph, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool. Michael might have been to 44 rallies, but back at the Buffalo Chip, we find someone who makes him look like a newbie.
I am 100 years old now, I'm working on my second 100. Been riding almost 80 years on two wheels, and I kind of lost my balance, but I still have 3 motorcycles in my garage, hoping I get over the balance situation.
This is Gloria Struck. She has logged over 500,000 miles on a bike and has ridden all 48 continental states many times over.
When I was 16 years old, my brother says, at that time, women didn't ride. He says to me, I'm going to teach you how to ride a motorcycle today. Stamp by foot. I said, no, you're not. Well, I'm still riding. He says, that day. He encouraged me. But I understand that I was kind of like women didn't ride in those days, and women just didn't have rights to a lot of things, And in fact, the women now write me cards and telephone calls and saying, I inspired them to hang in there, and the day come when they were accepted.
I had one last question. What advice would Gloria give to people coming to Sturgis?
Enjoy it.
She's just such a treasure, and I rode with her, and she was a devil.
This is Christine Sommer-Simmons, inductee into the Sturgis Hall of Fame and one of the many women who followed in Gloria's tyre tracks.
Let me tell you what, she was in her 80s. We did a 650-mile day out here in Wyoming, Dakota, to some motormates convention. She rides the back, but she's pushing. I'm like, are we going, we're doing like 80, okay? And we'd stop for gas. I'd be like wanting to sit down at the table and have water, and I'd say, do you want a drink? No, let's go. No, let's go. Yeah. She's a road warrior, that one, man. I rode out here in 1981. I saw one other woman on a motorcycle. It was, I think there were like 37 or 40,000 people, and we were overwhelmed. There was nowhere to eat, there was nowhere to sleep, and there was nowhere to get. There was one gas station, and we stayed for the day, and then we rode off to Yellowstone, and then off to the West Coast. And then it grew and grew, and now it's, fabulous to see all the and younger women riding. It's just, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. It's so exciting.
And it's not just about bikes and partying. Sometimes you can meet your partner here. Is that true?
Oh, wait. Did you do some Googling? Yes, I did. 36 years ago, 1989, my husband was here playing a show, a benefit for Harley-Davidson. I was here with my magazine and covering the event. And one of the people from Harley said, you have to come to the press conference to meet the guys. And I was like, I don't know. I'm busy. You've got to do this and that. He goes, well, we're going to have really good food. And then we said, well, what time should we show up?
And that musician just happens to be Patrick Simmons, the founder, guitarist and singer from the Doobie Brothers. Their shared love of Harleys has seen them take countless trips together over the years, including 4 cannonballs, a cross-country 17-day journey on 100-year-old motorcycles. And the draw of Sturgis keeps bringing them back.
I just remember the first time I rode out here, I was so excited. It's just freedom, it's the road, it's the ride out here. It's the journey, it's getting here, all the rest areas along the way, the gas stations, you see more people. Everybody's on a journey to get here. And then when I hear it's like seeing friends that I don't see, people from all over the country come, all over the world, really.
Yeah.
And I'll see them maybe once a year. I'll see them here. I just got here, I've seen like 30 people I know already. Yeah, it's about the motorcycles, but it's really about the people just as much, I think. Gloria really says this, you're not going to remember all the sunny days and the rides. You're going to remember the cold days, and you're going to remember that rain you rode through, but you're going to remember the people that you met, too. That's the way I look at it.
Sturgis is a crazy 10 days that ends with you being hungover, sunburnt, and possibly sporting a new tattoo. But it's a lot more than just that. What began as a small local race in 1938 with 9 participants and a handful of spectators has turned into the world's largest motorcycle rally and an enduring symbol of motorcycle culture. And it's one hell of a party. The official slogan for Sturgis is, all crazies welcome. If you're a little out there, you belong here. But if you simply love motorbikes or the freedom of the open road, then you belong here too. Thanks for joining me, and if you'd like to create your own South Dakota stories, you can find out how to do so by going to travelsouthdakota.com. You'll find lots of inspiration and ideas and everything else you need to know to plan your great South Dakota adventure. Thank you to our guests who featured in this episode: Rod Woody Woodruff from Sturgis Buffalo Chip, Jim Jandro from Bear Butte State Park, Milton Mac McKinney, photographer Michael Lichter, centenarian and motorcycle legend Gloria Struck, and Christine Sommer Simmons. If you enjoyed this episode, there are plenty more Travel South Dakota stories to listen to. So hit that subscribe button and follow us wherever you get your shows. This series was produced by Armchair Productions, the audio experts for the travel industry. Find out more at armchair-productions.com. I'm Brian Thacker. I wrote and presented the show. Jason Patton recorded in the field, mixed and did the sound design, and Aaron Miller is the executive producer.
If you love travel but don't always have time to plan, we've got a podcast for you.
It's called Travel in 10, and in every episode, in about 10 minutes, we give you a smart, practical overview of destinations all around the world.
We cover what to see, where to stay, where to eat, and what actually matters when you're planning out a trip.
It's designed for real life. Listen on the way to the airport, in the car, or while you're thinking about your next getaway.
So if you want expert advice, zero fluff, and travel inspiration that you can actually use, search for Travel in 10 wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can also find us at voyescape.com.
If you want to travel more, ideally in luxury, but without the luxury price tag, this show is for you. I'm DeAndre Koch, and on Revolutionizing Your Journey, I use my unique vantage point as a financial advisor to break down exactly how my wife and I leverage credit card points and miles to fly business class, stay at 5-star resorts, and take bucket list trips for a fraction of the cost. Each week, I share real strategies packed with actionable tips and interview some of the smartest travelers in the game to help you revolutionize the way you travel. Travel well, live boldly, and find Revolutionizing Your Journey wherever you get your podcasts.
The New York Times named the Frommer's Travel Podcast one of the 13 best for travel. Why did they like it? Well, they said, and I quote, "With charisma and candor, Pauline Frommer discusses the charms and ongoing transformations of places near and far, whether on the islands of Hawaii or on safari in Tanzania." Pretty nice, huh? We post new podcasts weekly, talking about travel from every angle. I hope you'll tune in.